Hey, Tribe Builder. I'm Muffy Mendoza, and welcome back to the Tribe Builder course made for any leader building community with care and intention. So, you already know we got to do our manifesto, and that is our 30-second commitment. So, take your deep breath and breathe out. And I want you to repeat after me. We build community. We are moms, grandmas, dads, uncles, and aunties and neighbors. We are childcare workers, nurses, bus drivers, and business owners. We are the village. We fill in the gap. We listen to stories, honor the presence, and validate the vision of everyday people. When one season ends and the next begins, when the needs shift, the questions change, and life gets real, we are there. We are space. We hold space. We listen, or excuse me, space to learn, space to connect, space to lead, space to grow. Every time I say that, it just feels good in me. It gives me this sense, this security to know that we are all building space together. We are all holding space together. And that this here, in and of itself, with you listening and so many others listening alongside you, is building community, trust, learning together. And I'm so excited to see what so many people learn from this and the dialogue that we get to exchange in as a result. So let's talk about why community leaders burn out. I remember when I was doing the Facebook Accelerator program and talking to some of the other women who were leading communities. Their communities were way larger than mine were. And so many of them talked about the many iterations of their communities and how they burnt out and how they had to, restabilize themselves after each iteration. And I want you to lean into that today, especially as you're at the beginning of understanding that you're going to go through cycles as a leader. The larger your community gets, the more popular it gets, the more partners you get, the more in depth you become with your community, the more it's going to require of you because you're leading people. And it's not if you'll feel it, it's when. Unless you actually build a system that supports your nervous system while building community, you're going to burn out. So, burnout in community work usually comes from three things. It comes from over functioning, and that means when you're doing what the community could learn to do together. So, you're taking on all the things, and you're not realizing that there are so many people in community that can help you. It comes from emotional labor, and that means holding people's feelings, conflict, grief, and joy, and then going home like nothing happened. Like you're holding it all. I remember my first Brown Mama's big event that a lot of people came to, and I just remember going home and my dad came in and he's like, "You did it." And I was just like, oh. I just sat there because I hadn't anticipated how much of everyone else I had carried with me back to my house. And then oftentimes it comes from unclear boundaries. You get burnout because everything is urgent, everything is personal, and you don't know where the role ends and you begin. Now, as healthy leaders, we are fully integrated into our roles. We are showing up as our true selves, but that does not mean that there are parts of ourselves that it is okay to keep a mystery, that it is okay to keep outside of the role so that we can have something that is sacred for ourselves. So I want to give you a truth that will keep you safe. You cannot build what you don't have the capacity to hold. You cannot build what you don't have the capacity to hold. And capacity isn't just time, it's your body, it's your breath, it's your nervous system. So, I want to give you a simple framework for rest, recovery, and regulation, and recognizing that those three things are not the same. So, it's rest, it's recovery, and regulation. These are three things that you need in order to ensure you don't burn out. But there are also three very different things that are used at different times. So let's kind of review that first. So we're going to talk about rest is stopping. Rest is laying down. Rest is doing less. Recovery is refilling what was drained. So, recovery, think sleep, think eating, think hydration, think movement, think pleasure, think silence. And then we've got regulation. Regulation is what you do in the moment to come back to your body when you're activated. And oftentimes, regulation requires another person. So we don't just regulate ourselves because the evidence that we are regulated is co-regulation. And a lot of leaders try to fix the nervous system activation with just rest. But sometimes you don't need a nap. You need a downshift. You need your body, you need your breath to tell your body, like, we are safe right now. You need to send a signal to your body that you're safe. And that's where regulation and recovery come in. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some things into practice because oftentimes when we have these meetings, we don't actually practice what needs to be done. So, we're going to do a quick practice together so you can do this before a gathering, during a hard moment, or after a conflict. And so, we're just going to do some breathing because most of us are very disconnected from our breath. So, the first thing I want you to do is just let your shoulders rest. So I want you to release the muscles and your shoulders in particular, because you're probably sitting up. So I want you to sit back. I want you to just release the muscles in your shoulders and anywhere else where you don't need to use them at. And I want you to place one hand on your chest. And if it feels okay for you, I want you to place the other hand on your belly. And we're going to inhale for 4 breaths. And then we're going to exhale for 6. And the longer exhale tells your nervous system, we're going to downshift and we are safe in our body and in this space. All right, are you ready? So we're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, we're going to breathe in. And breathe out. All right. And I want you to utilize that whenever you're having a moment. And I want you to add this phrase: I can lead without leaving myself. Let's do that one more time. So we're going to play sit back. We're going to relax our shoulders and any other muscles. Put one hand on our chest and another hand on our belly. And we're going to inhale for 4, exhale for 5, and then we're going to say, I can lead without leaving myself. And you can just say that in your mind's eye inside of you as you exhale for 6. So I want you to inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can lead without leaving myself. And one more time, inhale. Exhale. I can lead without leaving myself. Is your jaw softer? Your chest should be lighter. your shoulders lower. That is regulation. That is leadership. That is actually strategy. Because leadership is all about understanding that you are the cup that's being poured from. And without a strategy to regulate your cup, everything else will fall apart. Maybe not today, but eventually. So I want to introduce you to a leadership skill that can change everything. And that's just mastering a mindfulness practice. Not 10 mindfulness practices, not a buffet of mindfulness practices, but one mindfulness practice to master. Like you own that thing, like you can pull that thing out anywhere, whether your kid is having a tantrum or somebody's beeping at you in public. You can pull that thing out and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, regulate yourself. Because when life gets real, when somebody's upset, when the group chat goes left, when you get criticized publicly, your brain will not reach for a new tool. It will reach for what you've practiced and what you've mastered. So that's what you have to recognize about this mindfulness thing. Your mind is not hardwired to be like, let me look in the bag when I'm mad. Your mind is hardwired to say, what is our protocol? Go to the protocol. So that's why we're just going to focus on one tool. So here's a few options that you can choose from, and choose the one that feels most natural, most easy. Breath practice, like the one we just did. Master that. Pull it out anytime. Body scan. I love a good body scan. It's just simply sitting still and scanning your body to relax every muscle, one thing at a time. I mean, go from your lips to your belly button to your baby toe. Walking mindfulness, another one of my faves. I walk my community every day. And I love walking because it doesn't matter where you are, you can walk. And it's just slow steps, feeling your feet, softening your eyes, noticing what's on the ground, noticing what's above you, noticing what you're feeling, just walking. A grounding object, like you can pick a crystal, you can pick a knickknack that your grandma gave you, a stone, a bracelet, a bead, something you wear all the time. Touch it and breathe. Touch it and breathe. And if you want to go get fancy, you can create a mantra, and not a long one, a short mantra, one sentence that returns you to yourself, like the one that we had. I can lead without leaving myself. So, how do you choose? You're going to ask yourself, can I do this in under 2 minutes? Can I do this in public without needing perfect conditions? Does it work when I'm actually activated? Do you answer those questions? Pick it, practice it daily for 2 weeks, and that's how it becomes yours. And then you've officially graduated to being a tribe builder who can regulate themselves. So you might be asking yourself, like, well, how do I use this when I'm like, when the thing has hit the fan? So let's talk about the part that nobody prepares you for, decompressing after an incident. You are in community, you are in a living entity. There are going to be incidents between members, harmful comments, someone feeling excluded, a safety concern, a public critique, anything that spikes your stress. And here's what I want you to remember: your body doesn't know the incident is over just because the thing ended. So when those two members are done fighting, your body might still be in it. When that harmful comment that was made that made you second guess your entire reality, the comment may have even gotten deleted, but it's still in your body. So we have to create a decompression ritual, not to avoid accountability, but so you don't carry it in your nervous system for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it wreaks havoc on your ability to pour out. So I want you to try this 5 to 7 minute incident downshift, because now we're talking about regulation. So one of the things you can do is say to yourself, that was an incident. I am safe enough right now. You need to separate the moment from your identity. So giving the moment an identity, that was an incident. and then giving yourself an identity. I am safe enough right now. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to, with as quickly as you can after it, you want to go into that regulation technique. That's step one. Step two is you got to discharge the activation. So that's something with your body. So you can shake out your hands, you can roll your shoulders, you can unclench your jaw. Because I know sometimes when I'm in it, I'd be like, ooh, like I look calm, but my teeth are just clenched. So unclenching your jaw, unballing your fist, doing a quick walk to the end of the block. I'm not talking about walking the whole neighborhood. I'm talking about walking down the steps or walking to the backyard or whatever, because you need to tell the body that we need to move this energy through. Because if you don't, it gets stuck. And you know where it gets stuck. It gets stuck in your heart. It gets stuck in your head. It gets stuck in your belly or your womb. It gets stuck in your knees. And you start to feel blocked. And when you're blocked again, you can't pour when you're blocked. So you have to regulate. The third step is that you have to regulate with your mastered practice. This is where our mastered practice comes in. So once you remove the incident, once you identify the incident as an incident, and then you give your body that initial just shake up, then you go into your master practice. And again, it should take 2 minutes. Do your 4-6 breathing or your mantra or your grounding object, whatever it is. And lastly, you have to close the loop with a clean sentence. So you have to say, this is my next step. And this is what's not mine to carry. And I would really encourage you to journal it. And journaling doesn't mean I got to be in my space with my incense and my perfect notebook. It means I'm going to write it down, one line. The next thing I'm going to do is reach out to so-and-so member. Her bad comments were not mine to carry. And then finally, once you've closed the loop, return to your life. If you can, if this is not too crazy, drink some water, wash your hands, step outside, change your clothes. Do you know how much changing clothes helps after an incident? Just getting that energy off of you. You have to have a physical signal that says, I'm back with me. That is over there. I will process it, not dramatize it when I have time, but I'm back with me because that incident does not define me. It is a part of my life. It is not my life. And this is how you lead long term. You repair and you come home to yourself. You repair and you come home back to yourself. You rest, you come home to yourself. You regulate, you come home to yourself. You recover, you come home to yourself. You should always, no matter what, if you don't even get that whole thing, do something to remind yourself that you come home to yourself. So, mindfulness is essential. And at first, I didn't want to put it out. I was like, so hard to put this at the end. But I was like, I need you after everything to come back to yourself. And I didn't want to put it in the middle because I knew it would get lost in the shuffle. So, your download for this week, your assignment for this week is to develop your own mindfulness protocol. It should give you simple, specific instructions that are for you to include mindfulness in your daily life and when ish hits the fan, right? So, what's next? Next, we're going to talk about what's next because community evolves and so does initiators and so do members, and you cannot own your community. You are a steward of it. You are not an owner of it. See you in the next video. Peace.